So we have been knocked out of the cup, and since you were last here we have won one of our last 8 games. In more exciting news though, we have got to January, so it's a time to improve the squad. The board did give us some money and we have tried to look to invest that wisely. Since the Arsenal game, which was on the last episode, as mentioned, we have just won the one game, which came in the next match against Nottingham Forest. Out of the 8 games, which we have only won 1, we have only lost 2. So the issue isn't that we're getting beat a lot, it's just proven harder to score goals than what we thought. That 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest was followed up with a draw against Aston Villa. We then got knocked out of the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace before drawing against them in the Premier League. Another draw against Fulham, which was disappointing as we did hold a 2-0 lead, but we did let that slip. Brentford then took us apart before a much more encouraging 1-1 draw against Spurs at home. In terms of our squad, with the fact it's January now, we do have a couple of players who were looking to run down the contracts in Charlie Taylor and Josh Brownhill. Both of them are on the transfer list, so hopefully they'll be able to bring us in some funds. I've also put Darko Cherlinov on the transfer list. He simply hasn't been playing much for us, and we have many players in there who can play in his position, so we're well stocked in that area. I have let Brun Larson go back to his club after terminating his loan. And as well, Lyle Foster came and complained about a lack of first team football, asked to secure a permanent move away from the club. So we have got him involved in a transfer at the moment. Hopefully he'll be getting exchanged for Martin Dardai, I would like to say. This is another person who can come in, strengthen up our defensive mid and potentially centre-back, so we have cover in a couple of areas. As mentioned, Charlie Taylor is looking to force a move, so he could potentially play at left-back for us as well if we don't manage to get that covered. But we have put in an offer for Juan Larios of Southampton as well. He is in a much more attacking wing-back, so if we did have Bayer on the right-hand side, Larios would be the one getting up and down that wing. We have had a bid accepted for him, just need to make the contract offer after we've done the Sunderland match. Our team for the Sunderland match today is one that is quite heavily rotated from what has been playing in the league. We have been through the busy December period where there's been lots of games, so I am trying to rest as many of the first team as possible in this match. As mentioned, Lyle Foster is potentially leaving us, but we did have a ready-made replacement at the club in Wilson Odobert. He's a 19-year-old French player who has been playing in the under-21s since the summer when we signed him. I've just moved him up for the first time for this game, but I am expecting him to take Lyle Foster's position in the squad, so he should be featuring more in the back end of the season. Other than that though, Masengo has been missing for a few games through injury, so he comes back in, hopefully to get a bit of fitness back into his legs. Aaron Ramsey, he's starting, he hasn't really done too much in the league, so hopefully a game against a team in the lower division, although it is a fantastic team in the lower division, he'll be able to play well, get himself a bit of confidence, along with the rest of this team who haven't done too bad over the past few days, but we would like to get a win, so hopefully we can begin that against Sunderland. Looking at the Sunderland team, it's probably a team that you would expect them to put out sort of in this version of the game. Corey Evans will be holding the midfield, and he is a very good player at doing that for Sunderland. Abdullah Bar and Pierre Ekwa, I imagine, will be playing centre mid, looking to drive forward to create chances for the front three of Clark, Robertson, Burstow. Jack Clark especially is good enough to cause us a lot of problems, so we do need Vitinho and Connor Roberts to be on the top of their game against both of these wingers. On the bench, there's a few players that we could be worried about. Lewis Semedo is a young striker. He's got decent potential in the game, so he could potentially come on and cause us some issues, as well as Adil Ashish. He is a good attacking midfielder, potentially someone we could look at to see if he would improve our squad, and Pembele is a really good right back. There is potentially interest in Connor Roberts, so either Pembele or Trey Hume I'm maybe looking at to come in for Connor Roberts if we do sell him on. I've got through the first 15 minutes of the game and we're just getting our first highlight now. Sunderland have a throw in, Sirkin plays it into Clark, or 9 at the back to Clark. He plays it forward to Mason Burstow, and that's a fantastic save from James Trafford. He was offside, but Trafford didn't know that, so he had to show good reflexes to get onto that. And we begin again with another Sunderland attack, Burstow out on the wing. That looked like it could have been a penalty, but we've could have potentially got away with one there. So Trafford playing it out to Connor Roberts, Zaruri on the right, plays it inside to Brownhill. Wilson Odobert on his debut. Hopefully he'll be able to shine and hopefully get a goal. But Masengo on his return, he does come back. He does put us 1-0 up. Fantastic player from us. We're playing some nice football this season. Odobert sprays it out onto the wing. Amdouni manages to retain composure, cut it inside to Brownhill, who just lays it back, and Masengo with a first time finish into the goal. That's exactly what we like to see. So Sunderland trying to respond straight away with a Pierre Ekwa free kick, and that was close. Ekwa can hit a dead ball in a Football Manager. We haven't seen him do it too much in real life, although he did have one game against Southampton where he did hit a couple of sweet strikes. But fortunately, that one didn't trouble us, and we could be on the attack again. Vitinho plays it through to Amdouni, and if VAR chooses to allow this for us, I do think he was onside, and it is 2-0. Another great bit of football from us. Vitinho cutting inside, playing it forward. Amdouni just staying onside, and that is a good finish round Anthony Patterson. So Sunderland coming out the blocks again quickly. I am a bit worried about Connor Roberts being on a yellow card against Jack Clark so early on and with so much football to be played. Sunderland don't look to have got the ball down this left-hand side of too much, so it could be quite safe, but the worry is if they do switch it over like they're getting over to now, Connor Roberts can be isolated, and that could leave us in danger of going down to 10 men. As it is, Sirkin on the wing plays it into Burstow. Just his second goal of the season, so maybe not getting too much football, or maybe like in real life he hasn't just found his shooting boots yet, but contributing well to the team. It is happening now that he is scoring. Good play by Sirkin, drills it in, and Burstow with a good near post finish. Just coming up to half time, this has been close in the stats. Sunderland just edging it with the expected goals, but we've taken the chances that have come our way, and that means we are ahead 2-1. I'm not really happy though. I think we should be ahead further, so I am going to tell the team, even though I'm not happy with the performance out there, hope we can step up the game for the second half and just put a few more goals into the back of the net to make this a much more convincing victory. So we do have 6 minutes on the clock. As I said, Masengo is just coming back in after injury, so I'm going to take him off, allow him to rest. We are going to bring on Josh Cullen to play there. Elsewhere, Benson hasn't been in the best of form recently, so I do want to bring him on, put him out on the wing. Hopefully he can bring some fresh legs and get a goal and get his confidence up a bit. And like I was saying, I am a bit worried about Connor Roberts, so I'm going to take him off and put Bayer there at the back. He's going to play the inverted full-back role, so he will be staying back a bit more, cutting into centre defence a bit more, and hopefully giving us a bit more solidity at the back. So Brownhill delivers the ball into the box. It is headed away, but Odobert picks it up on the edge, plays it inside to Cullen, plays it out to Ramsey. Ramsey with the shot from distance. It looked like it took a couple of deflections on the way through, and Patterson had to get down to save it, and he did that well. Put it out for a corner. Benson delivers it, and Jordan Bayer just heads it over. We are just going to make our last couple of changes. Nathan Redmond coming on for Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey's had probably one of his better games in a Burnley shirt, but still not performing fantastically. Odobert, taking him off, giving him a chance to get a bit of applause from the Burnley fans for his debut. Again, hasn't played fantastically, but must have been nervous on his debut. Playing slightly out of position, he is more of a left winger. But he didn't do too badly, and we give Michael Obafemi a chance to come on, use his pace to get in behind and get a goal. Trafford plays it out to Vitinho, forward to Amdouni, where he's tackled by Trey Hume. Dan Ballard plays it up to Patrick Roberts. Roberts on the byline, plays it back to Ekwa. plays it back to Trey Human. He's hit the bar from a distance there. I was very, very close to us conceding a leveller, and just an example of why I maybe wouldn't mind bringing Trey Hume into the team as well. He is another decent attacking fullback. He is young, lots of potential, and that was Semedo there being played through and just missing the target. So we're just getting into stoppage time now. Sunderland have been the better team throughout the game, but as mentioned at half-time, we've taken our chances whereas Sunderland haven't. Hopefully we're going to get one more here. Vitinho out on the wing. Just keeping hold of possession. Players are back to Alderkeel. Redmond running back, playing it back to Jordan. Again, we know there's no rush to try to get a third goal here. Just keeping possession, playing it round. Benson through. Benson scores. That one probably was offside though. The offside flag is up. He did look like he was in a lot of space, which he probably shouldn't have been in. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one was offside. Yeah. I don't think there's much time for someone to come back into the game. It should still be us winning the game, but it would have been nice to have the confirmation there. But yeah, again, we advance to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Maybe another cup run. You do get a bit more money from the FA Cup. Not that it's anything compared to the Premier League money that we're getting, but it would be nice to get a bit more. Hopefully get the transfer budget up a little bit more for next season, and we'll go from there. Just coming straight back, we do have Juan Larios, who is interested in negotiating terms. So we'll make him a squad player. We'll remove the important player. But you can set targets now in Football Manager, so if you sign a player, as we are now, they're wanting to increase the squad time that they're going to get up season upon season, you give them a chance to meet a bonus, and if they get that, then they will get that. So what I want, if he gets an average rating of 7.0 in the matches that he plays, then we'll make him a regular starter in the next season. And he's happy with that. Let's just have a look at the kind of contract that he does want. So we won't be able to remove the minimum fee release clause. I'll happily keep that in for now. Hopefully he'll come, and in a couple of seasons, if he does come, he is doing well, we would be able to renew his contract and hopefully remove that clause. I will try to lower his wage demands a little bit, so we'll start him off at 19. See what we use with that. 22.5. And that's not a terrible deal. I think we're getting a good player. Hopefully he wants to come. I know Brighton made a bid for him as well, but hopefully the lure of more football will attract him to come to Burnley over Brighton. So we'll see what happens over the next week. Get prepared for the Luton game. See if we get any transfers come in, and I'll see you then. And here we have it. We do have our first signing of the transfer window. Welcome to Burnley, Martin Dardai. Lyle Foster has gone in the opposite direction. It's just a straight swap. But as we can see, we've got a player who can cover a few positions. Looks to be good. He's a decent squad player at the moment, and he does have the potential to be a Premier League player. Instantly, his value has gone up to 27 million. So hopefully, if nothing else, he will get a decent bit of sell-on value. But I am happy with the signing. He's coming just before the Luton game, so probably won't be able to feature from the off in that. Maybe come off the bench. But fantastic to see us making a bit of movement in the transfer window. And on the morning of the Luton game, he has been joined by our second signing of the transfer window, Juan Larios. Again, it is an enthusiastic young fullback. I did offer Charlie Taylor out. We did have a bid accepted from Luton, but Charlie declined the contract offer. We will be trying to get rid of him again, as we have just signed his replacement. Juan won't be involved in the game today, but moving forward, I expect him to be a big part of the squad and a big part of the team. So, welcome, Mr. Larios. So here we are for the Luton game, and here is the first 11 we are going out with. We have got Obafemi up front, Mike Trezor, Redmond with Hamdounian behind them, Cullen and Masengo in the midfield. Despite the fact we are trying to get rid of Charlie Taylor, he does start at left back. Merlin has just recovered from an injury, and Juan Larios has been at the club a matter of 2 hours probably, so he's not quite ready to start this game. So Taylor does begin, along with Delacroix, O'Shea, Jordan Bayer, and with Muric in goal. Odebear gets his first appearance on the Premier League bench today, so if needs be, maybe he can come on and make himself an instant hero in the Premier League. We do have Dardai on the bench just in case. Since he has signed, Josh Brownhill has been let go. He has gone to Southampton for £3.5 million. Some of that money was used to get Larios in, but we do have around about £5 million left. Hopefully we can look to see if there is any good strikers out there which we can get into the team. But if not, Obafemi and Odebear hopefully can do the job. Koleosho can also play a player, so we do have a few options who can play a player. I would just like to get a more consistent one. But Luton, rock bottom of the Premier League. This should be a game which we are winning. I am putting out one of the more attacking teams which I think we could play. So in terms of that, I am going to actually bring in Connor Roberts to play right back, put Jordan Bayer as that ball playing defender, because I do want him getting up to support Amdouni a bit more, as well as Taylor getting up to support Mike Trezor on the left hand side. So early on in the game, Luton are looking to build an attack down this right hand side. Alfie Doughty plays into the box. Ogbene hits it, strikes the post. May have been saved by Muric, but we were lucky to get away with that one so early on in the game. 15 minutes in, we do hopefully have Burnley's first sack of the game. Hanno Masengo bringing it up, plays it out to the left to Mike Trezor, just holding it up, allowing some players to get into support. Charlie Taylor plays it back to Mike Trezor, plays it to Cullen, out to Masengo, back to Connor Roberts. And I think, again, he looked like he was in a bit too much space. I think this one could be disallowed as well, but it hasn't been disallowed. Amdouni puts us 1-0 up. Fantastic play. One-touch football a lot of the time. Masengo plays out to Connor Roberts. Plays it forward to Amdouni. First time, bottom corner. Tim Krul had no chance, and it is 1-0 to Burnley. We do have Roberts out on the wing, running forward. Him and Amdouni running next to each other. Not sure what they're going to accomplish with that. Good ball in by Connor Roberts and a good header by Obafemi, which just strikes the bar. We are coming up to half time and maybe just one last chance of the half. Connor Roberts, again, playing it forward to Obafemi. Obafemi running round. That's a fantastic finish into the bottom corner. I think Connor Roberts must have heard that we're potentially looking to, move him on, and I don't think he wants to go. He's been fantastic in this game. Luton can't handle him. Great ball forward. Obafemi just using his pace, and that's a wonderful finish into the bottom corner, very composed. Starting to show why he could potentially be a Premier League player in the future. He is only rated as a leading Sky Bet League 1 striker at the minute, but I think he's performed a lot better than that this season. Although the goals haven't been there as much, he is doing well, and he's put us 2-0 up going into the second half. Let's hope they can keep this performance going for the rest of the game. So we have Masengo in the middle of the park. Masengo running forward, trying to make some space in the middle. Plays it back to Connor Roberts. We know what his creativity's been like in this game. Puts it forward to Amdouni. Great ball. That's a great ball to the back post. Mike Trezor gets his first goal of the season. Great header. He climbed above, I think it was Ogbene, and just showed a bit more determination. I was about to take him off, but he'll have some confidence now. Amdouni, great ball into the back post. It's just floated it back there. Gave Mike Trezor time to run in, get himself above his man, and that's a towering header. 68 minutes gone. We're in a very comfortable position, so we are going to look to make changes. Redmond is coming off to be replaced by Aaron Ramsey. We are going to give Martin his debut in place of Cullen, who is tiring. And I think as well, we are going to bring in Jack Cork for Masengo. Masengo is still working his way back to full fitness. So we'll leave it there for now. I'll probably bring on Koleosho and Odebear sometime soon as well. Maybe in 5 minutes or so. But just see how the rest of the game goes. And yeah, we'll bring them on now. Just to give them 15 minutes. Give Odebear a chance to hopefully get his first goal. Koleosho, he hasn't scored too many. Hasn't been playing too well when he's been playing, but games like this are a fantastic chance to get him in, get him some confidence. And I do have I do have faith that in the future he will be one of our better players. He just needs to adapt to English football. He hasn't done too well. He is still young. He's only 18 or 19 still. And, he will probably be one of the stars of Burnley moving forward. It just hasn't worked out for him so far. Well, we are on the attack here, so maybe he can get one here. But it's Amdouni. He should have finished that. It was a good ball through by Udebe on his debut. Held it up well. Little ball through. And, good to see him have the confidence to do that. And again, looks like we could be making one last attack at the end of the game. Jordan intercepts it. Just kicks it off that eye. And it's set Luton up, but it's sort of just like pinball at the moment. No one wants to have the attack. They're just giving it up in the midfield. But now we have a bit of space with Taylor out on the wing. Plays it to Koleosho. He does cuts inside again, and that's it. He really did deserve a goal, as the writing says on the bottom. Cut through Luton Town like they were amateur footballers there, and just couldn't apply the finish. But 3-0. Our defence and goalkeeper having the game of lives to keep Luton Town quiet. As we can see in the stats, it wasn't a 3-0 match. Luton did, just as well of us. We just had slightly better chances and were more clinical when we had them, and just put Luton to the sword. That's probably why they're bottom of the league and we are riding high in mid-table. Do just wait for a moment. We are just going to bring the table up. You can see Burnley here in 11th. We are 14 points clear of the bottom three now, which is a very comfortable position to be in. They did say 40 points as the magic number to get to. Probably has gone down in recent seasons. So, I would happily get 3 or 4 more wins for the rest of the season. That would be us comfortable, and we can look to start planning for next season back in the Premier League. Well, we do have 13 days until our next game, and we do have £5 million in the bank, and we do have quite a bit of money left on wages. So I think I'm going to use these next 13 days to go and have a look for a striker. So keep your eyes posted. At some point in the video, we may see another striker come in. Not an incoming transfer yet, but we have managed to sell Charlie Taylor for £1.4 million. He will be going to Everton. He was going to run down his contract, so he would have been leaving for a free at the end of the year. We have now got 2 left backs in the squad, so we don't need him. And thank you, Charlie, but good luck at Everton, and we'll see you when we play against you. We had been trying to get Ronnie Edwards. We did offer him a contract, but unfortunately he has chosen to join West Ham under 18s instead of coming into our first team. It is very disappointing, but we didn't really need him. It would have just been nice to have, but yeah, I'm quite disappointed not to get that one over the line. And although it isn't the first team striker we were looking for, we have signed another striker into the building. That is Divin Mubama. He's a 19-year-old. He looks fairly decent. He can play as advanced forward at the moment. I will be training to be a pressing forward just to fit into our system. There isn't too much difference in that. But he does have quite a lot of pace, decent finishing, decent dribbling, first touch, so he should be able to cause defences a lot of trouble. I'm going to move him straight up to the senior squad, but he will be available for the under-21s just while he starts off, just to get used to us and start fitting into our system. I do think he can, will be able to get a bit better, and hopefully he was signed for £1 million. It isn't too much of an outlay. He can just add a little bit of competition, and we still do have some money left over to go and sign a proper striker. Unfortunately, I don't think that will be happening this episode. Time is quickly running out in the transfer window, and just all the strikers that I have found, they're way too expensive. We were looking at Wilfred Nonto, getting him in on loan with the option of signing them in the summer, but he has now gone to Bayer Leverkusen. So there's not really many more options out there that my scouts have been able to find. So I think for now, the squad is probably as good as we can get it. We'll keep an eye out for what we can get over the course of the season or over the last few days of the deadline. If there is any bargains pop up, we will let you know. In terms of the next game, I think I'm going to come back for the beginning of March. That we can get the games against Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. Hopefully by that point we'll be near securing our Premier League safety. We might be going on a bit of a cup run and we'll have the new signings into the team. After that, our finish to the season is looking horrendous, with our last 6 games being Man U, Chelsea, Man City, West Ham, Newcastle and Liverpool. So ideally, before those games come, we need to get some points in the board and kind of assure our status in the Premier League by then. As always, if you have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Any comments you have, please let me know, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, bye bye.